Eagles fan football is made of cycles of painful goodbyes and sometimes of reunions that seem written by destiny. We know how vital the cornerback position is in today's NFL. We also know how much leadership inside a locker room can transform a good season into a Super Bowl season. And that is exactly why the news that just exploded in the league market made many hearts in Philadelphia beat faster. An old acquaintance, a former captain, a man who wore our jersey with pride and was synonymous with big plays for years, is officially without a team. The question that won't go away and is setting social media on fire since the moment of the announcement is just one. Is it time to bring this idol back home? Today we will dive deep into this possibility, analyze the complicated rules surrounding this return, and decide if it is worth it or if it is just nostalgia speaking louder. Let's get to the facts, because the situation is at the very least curious. This veteran player who signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers looking for a new home after leaving Philadelphia was officially released this week. The news caught a lot of people off guard, not necessarily because he left, but because of how it happened. He had been what we call a healthy scratch in recent games. For those not familiar with the term, this means he was 100% healthy, physically fit to play without any injury. But the Steelers' coaching staff opted not to even dress him for the game. Mike Tomlin looked at him and decided he preferred other players on the field. For an athlete with his resume with a history of Pro Bowls and respect in the league, this is a clear sign that the marriage there ended. Now he is free on the market, or almost. We are talking, of course, about our eternal big play Darius Slay. A lot of people are screaming on social media Howie Roseman sign him now. But there is a technical NFL rule that we need to explain calmly because it is the big obstacle to this immediate return. Since we are past the trade deadline, the rules change. Any player cut from now on does not become an unrestricted free agent immediately. He must mandatory pass through the waivers process. What does this mean in practice? It means that Darius Slay cannot simply choose where he wants to play tomorrow. His contract is placed on a list, and all 32 teams in the league have the chance to claim this contract following a strict priority order. And guess what that order is? It is based on the current 2026 draft order, meaning from the team with the worst record to the team with the best record. The league's goal is to give the worst teams a chance to reinforce themselves. And where do the Philadelphia Eagles stand in this line today? We are at position 22. This means that mathematically there are 21 teams ahead of us who have priority to grab Darius Slay before Howie Roseman's phone even rings. Teams with worse record, teams desperate for secondary help, they all have preference. So for Slay to return to Philadelphia, we would need 21 franchises to look at him and say, no thanks. Seems difficult maybe, but there are behind-the-scenes factors playing in our favor. The first point that makes Slay attractive to any team and also to us is the money. The remainder of Darius Slay's salary for the 2025 season is extremely affordable. We are talking about just $348,611. In the NFL economy, that is pocket change. Any team, even those tight on the salary, can pay that without blinking. This works against us because it makes it easy for a team like the Las Vegas Raiders or the Jacksonville Jaguars to claim him just to fill a hole. But on the other hand, if he falls to us, it is a luxury reinforcement for a bargain price. However, Darius Slay is not a rookie who accepts any destination quietly. He is a respected veteran of almost 35 years. He has what we call moral leverage. Although he cannot officially pick his team while on waivers, he can very well leak to the press through his agents that if he is claimed by a bad team or one in reconstruction, let's use the Tennessee Titans as an example, he prefers to retire than play. No one wants to waste a waiver pick and occupy a roster spot with a player who will arrive unwillingly or won't even report. This silent threat can scare off the bad teams and let him slide down the list until he reaches competitive teams like the Eagles. However, there is a real nostalgic and very strong danger in our path. The Detroit Lions, the team that originally drafted Slay the place where he became a star and earned the nickname Big Play Slay. The Lions are one of the best teams in the league today but are suffering from injuries in the secondary and need urgent help. Seeing Slay end his career where he started would make total narrative and tactical sense for them. They are in the fight for the Super Bowl. They are competitive, and they know the player deeply. If Detroit decides they want Slay, the situation gets complicated because depending on the record for the week, they might be close to us in the order. It would be a battle of narratives, going back to the team that drafted him or going back to the team where he was recently a captain. Now, fan, we need to take emotion out of the equation and look at the naked truth. Nostalgia is beautiful, but it doesn't win playoff game. The honest question we need to ask is, can Darius Slay still play at a high level in the NFL? The cornerback position is cruel. It is historically a position for young athletes with fluid hips and recovery speed. Slay is about to turn 35. In the NFL, this is considered elderly to play on the island, and his numbers this season for the Steelers are not pretty. According to Pro Football Reference, when quarterbacks threw in Slay's direction this season, they had a rating of 108.0. That is very high. Basically, passes were being completed with ease. The fact that he was benched in Pittsburgh wasn't by chance. The body pays the price, and the speed is not the same. But then, if he is in decline, why would it make sense to bring him back? The answer has a first and last name, Vic Fangio. Our defensive coordinator is known for valuing something that young guys don't have yet: game intelligence and experience. Fangio loves veterans who know how to position themselves, who understand the complex zone scheme, and mainly who don't make silly mental errors. Today, we have promising youngsters on the roster, like Kelly Ringo, who is a phenomenal athlete, fast and strong. But does Fangio fully trust Ringo in a tight playoff game against a complex offense? The doubt exists. Slay, even if slower, knows the shortcut. He knows how to read the quarterback's eyes. The bet here would be that in a system he already knows, or similar due to his experience, he could perform better than he did in Pittsburgh. We aren't saying Slay would arrive to be CB1, the absolute starter who will shut down Justin Jefferson or CeeDee Lamb. Those days are in the past. But look at our depth. We have Darius Slay, the original Quinion Mitchell, playing great Cooper DeJean. But what about the depth? Adoree Jackson is there, but wouldn't Slay be a better or more reliable rotation option to come in for specific packages if the team was willing to spend draft capital trying to bring in Jaire Alexander, who according to rumors was unhappy? This proves that the front office isn't 100% satisfied with the security they have. They want more guarantee. And between spending picks or bringing in an idol practically for free, the Slay option seems much more sensible. Beyond the four lines, there is the locker room effect. Darius Slay has always been an active voice, a mentor. He has a contagious personality. We have young talents in the secondary like rookies Mitchell and DeJean, who could benefit immensely from having big play Slay, teaching the secrets of the profession on a daily basis, showing how to watch opponent film, how to prepare. He left here with respect. The players like him. The fans like him. In a final stretch of the season where pressure mounts and nerves are on edge, having someone who has been there, who has played in a Super Bowl in this jersey and who doesn't shake in the clutch is an intangible asset. Let's weigh it up finally. The financial risk is almost zero, $348,000. The tactical risk is low. If he doesn't play well, you simply don't put him on the field since we have other starters and he would come for depth. The reward, on the other hand, could be high. If he recovers 80% of what he was 2 years ago, it is already an upgrade in our rotation. If he makes a single decisive interception in a playoff game, the investment has already paid for itself. We are talking about a very low-cost bet for a potentially significant emotional and technical gain. Howie Roseman loves this kind of play. He is the master of bringing veterans back for the last dance. We saw this with other players in the past, like Graham Cox-Kelsey, who stayed until the end. Roseman knows the Super Bowl window's open now. If Slay clears waivers, which, as I said, depends on 21 teams saying no, I would be very surprised if the Eagles didn't make a call. The interest must exist. The need for depth exists. And the story is too good to be ignored. But of course it all depends on him accepting a role that might not be absolute starter, but rather a rotation piece and mentor. The saga is just beginning, and the next 24 hours will be crucial. We will know if any team will jump the line and claim his contract, or if he will fall to it. Now I want to throw the responsibility to you who are the true owner of the team. Would you bring Darius Slay back today, believing in his experience and leadership, or do you think the page has turned that the 108 rating numbers don't lie? and that we should bet 100% on the youth of Keely Ringo and company. Is it time to look at the past with affection or focus coldly on the future? Leave your opinion here in the comments, because this discussion is going to divide the fan base. Don't forget to like if you want to see big plays slay back, and subscribe to the channel to know the outcome of this story as soon as it happens. Until next time.